Hello, this is day 2 of the video challenge, a 10-day video challenge I'm doing, and welcome back to Heart Spark Life, and thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, listening, and I'm really, really grateful. And so funny, I have done this video so many times because I run out of space, I talk too long, whatever, and this is I'm going to make this my final time. I've deleted some things. Hopefully I have enough room. I'm using my phone and it does a great job. So I wanted to share today about authenticity. And it's so funny because I had all these barriers coming in about, oh gosh, should I go shower? Because I had a massage today and I've got oil in my hair and I haven't really showered yet. And all these different things. I'm like, heck no, because you're talking about authenticity, right? All these little ways, these little parts of ourselves that can kind of cloud things up of what's really true. So I had a beautiful experience and this last weekend that really brought this topic up. And I was at a weekend long life celebration with beautiful people celebrating a beautiful man who was younger than me and really, in my perspective, lived a life of adventure and joy and just to the fullest, right? Anything he desired, he would go and do or try to craft it to the best of his ability, of whether it be art or music or cooking or teaching. He would take it on. And it was so beautiful to hear all the different ways that this man has touched lives. And the common theme is everybody felt so seen by him, myself included. And I didn't expect emotions to come up. I've done this 4 times and no emotions came up. So here's some real stuff. And I got up and spoke. In many years, I've spent my life being extremely shy, not speaking in public, not getting on video. And in recent years, ever since, I've had that heart thing happen, I turned 50, I don't give a crap, right? That's part of it too. And I witnessed this man's ripple effect on so many lives, on my own life. And I got up and spoke about authenticity because that was what he left with me, being so authentic. He could stand and just be silent next to me, and I felt seen. And he would listen. So I want to talk about these things. Did you know that authenticity is a higher vibration than love and joy? I found that really fascinating to me. I've heard it before, but it really sank in this weekend because of the overall ripple effect that this beautiful man had on lives. So I know for me, people have made comments about me getting up and speaking and being on camera and being natural at it. And it's so interesting on what I've done to get to this place. I think, yes, it was part of that experience of nearly dying and realizing, what am I doing with my life? That definitely shifted things. And prior to that, I did another video challenge in a private group with Anne is her name, and she's amazing. And we were the first group on what she was creating. And I can't remember if it was 10 days or 30 days. If it was 10 days, it felt like 30 days because it was a stretch for me. And she would give us prompts to answer, and we would do it live within the Facebook group of about 20 people. And it was very expansive for me to really look at what parts of myself I keep to hide who I am, the truth, to be vulnerable, to be my true to heart self, my true self. So that was huge. And also taking time alone, being alone. I did a trip to Italy in 2015 with this beautiful group, with this man. He and his wife led beautiful trips. And at the end of my trip, I decided to go solo to Venice. And this was really, really a big experience in really getting in touch with who I am. I spent time alone in a park, contemplating my life and who I am and how I show up. How do I show up to people, right? So on the first day there, I went to get some gelato. Gelato was amazing over there. And they're going to, the line's moving up and the ladies are talking to everybody in Italian and this and that. And I get up to the line and she switches to English. She's like, how can I help you? And I was like, darn, that obvious. And it's interesting, but not that it wasn't my authentic self, but I think I felt uncomfortable. I didn't feel like in my place, which was great. So number one is to get uncomfortable, right? So you can be vulnerable. And I wanted to share, by the end of my trip, I was sitting on a bench having gelato again before I was leaving the next day. And these two men came up, young men. They had, I don't know how old they were, but they started talking to me in Italian, asking me for directions. Because by then I knew some Italian. And I told them, I only speak English. Thank you. Sorry, I can't help you. And I just felt like, yes, I have blended in, so to speak. Or maybe it was me just shining who I am. Because I found my confidence in walking around in Venice, which is a maze if you haven't been there. It's beautiful and amazing. And I found myself there too, because I had to tap into myself. So I think about all the times in my life I would sit and contemplate without distractions, without TV, because I liked alone time, being the introvert that I was. But when I really, truly reflected, when I had one-on-one conversations with your friends who would reflect back to me, ask me tough questions, my family, I'm grateful for all of it. So I'm here on this video today to talk about authenticity, because it can create such a ripple. And it doesn't mean you need to go out and express your heart out to everybody. It can be your presence. Just your presence. I'll end with a little experience I had last week. I went to Costco with a friend, and I was in such a great place. I've been contemplating this, being in the surrender, letting it all go, letting whatever shows up in front of me happen. And I was going around talking to people, asking questions, but where'd you get that? Where do I find that? And people were so helpful. At first, people were a little startled I was talking to them. Because I think with all these past years' experiences, there's a guard up with a lot of us. And I remember petting a dog that was a service dog, just precious, and just getting the things on my list. And I had seen this lady a few times through the store, and as I was leaving, right next to us, this lady parked, and she was leaving. She was pulling out, and she was just waving to me and smiling, and I just sat for a while being like, wow, I never had an interaction with her, but we kept seeing each other, and we didn't even laugh or recognize each other as we saw each other. But when she was leaving, she saw me and I saw her. So that left me with thinking about, boy, just being ourselves wherever we are. Think of the ripple effect. And that can be those simple gestures of opening a door, or just standing and being present, open-hearted, and being and listening, being present. I know there's a lot to talk about on authenticity, because there's so many ways. I feel like we cover ourselves up. I know I did. But for now, I want to leave you with that, and go on to the next day if you'd like, and take moments and be present and listen, pay attention, and watch this true self, this true authentic heart come out even more. I wouldn't bet if you would be surprised at what comes out the more and more you do it, and the amazing people you connect with, because it is a magnet. The more authentic you are, People are drawn. Those who are ready to be in that authentic place too. Can also be a repellent if they're not ready to be real with themselves. I have experienced that. So anyway, thank you for listening, and have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you are. And I'll be back tomorrow for day 3. Much love.